to call it, Twitch.
It still seems to be there.
That's
Well,
weird.
if you're in the chat and something happened, like it suddenly got quiet.
It's all Tekken's fault.
Whatever.
Ah. But oh wow, there it goes. Or although that could be mine. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, this reminds me that I started playing the Soul Calibur free to play on PS3, which is basically that. But there was that quest mode in Soul Calibur 2 or 3.
There's
You
one
just
in both
go
of them.
around. Oh,
There's
was
also
there
one in the
both?
first one. Actually, there's one in the first one. It's called the. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, there's that too.
Well, it's basically that mode, but free, and your clothing actually matters now. So before it's just cosmetic, but now it's like, oh, it gives you a bit more health, makes your attack a bit stronger. I guess they're not worried about competitive balance because you're not fighting any other people. So they can just give you crazy amounts of health and damage over time. I'm not that far into it, but yeah, I think what was wrong with free to play was that the games just weren't good. Now there are actually some good free to play games, so people should check them out. Because it's Soul Calibur, and I was like, yeah, it plays like Soul Calibur, and AI is never as good as playing competitively, but it's like, well, it's still fun. And then the Ace Combat one was kind of like that, except that one was competitive. I was playing the Tekken free to play, Tekken Revolution. Like that one's free.
Wait. I thought the Ace Combat one's not out yet.
The beta was out already.
Oh, I was about to say, dude, if it's out and I missed and I didn't know, I'm about to be
Oh.
angry right now.
I know, right? You won't like him when he's angry.
Shut up,
but yeah, no, that one's really fun. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, you can play all the Bandai Namco games that you want to play anyway, but for free.
Well, Tropical, there's an asterisk of like it's not the same as a full-featured Namco Bandai game that you spend money on.
Haha, you said
Yeah,
that wrong.
that's true. But still, it's Bandai Namco.
Well, no, I said Tekken said it the other.
Oh, right. But yeah, Destiny Spirits is like, wow, I can get into this one. It's not. In fact, wow, I've been playing lots of free to play stuff. That Treasures of Montezuma Blitz
Oh
thing.
my, Tropical, this is probably why you don't finish games. I'm just gonna play this free-to-play game that never ends because that's how they're designed.
That's how they
It was
get you.
funny because the other night I was like lying in bed and I turned on remote play and I was connected to my PS4 and I started playing. I think it was Killzone Shadowfall where I was stuck last week, and I was just like, it is way too late to be playing this. Like, it's so stressful. It's like, what can I play that's not stressful? It's like Treasures of Montezuma Blitz. What's that? Treasure Park. Just like these Vita games. Actually, I forgot to list this one. I'll just touch on it briefly. There's a game called TXK on Vita. It's supposed to be sort of a modern take on Tempest. And what it is, it's a vector-based shooter, or the graphics are vector-based, and then you're sort of shooting on these curved planes. So you see a plane from the side, and then you're on the side that's closer to you, and then the enemies are coming at you from the distant side, and you're just trying to shoot, and it's like a score-based game. So you're just trying to kill as many as you can, and then go to the next stage. And it's got really trippy visuals and music and sound effects. Like the one that is in my mind, well, two sound effects in my mind is when you die, your ship, it's not really a ship, it's just sort of this claw looking thing that's all wiggly. When you die, it does this sort of weird death cry, like as it gets dragged down into the plane. It's just like, it's the weirdest sound. And then every time you beat a level, it's yeah, 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 yeah. And then you go into the next level. It's just like it has really weird sound effects, and it's very strange. But I finally got pretty far in the game. Like it's been getting really good reviews, and I've been hearing a lot about it on my Twitter feed. And I started playing it. The first, I think it's been 2 months. The first 2 months I played it, I was like, I guess I just don't get this game. I don't understand why everyone loves it. But once I got later into it, I was like, oh, I'm starting to get it. It's actually quite brilliant. The way that the planes, like, so there's flat planes, which are pretty simple, but then you also have, if you took that plane and rolled it into a tube, and then you have this playing field where you can go around the entire thing. And then there are times when you're, I guess, upside down on the plane, so then your controls are reversed. And it's just like there's a lot of different variations that can be utilized in this game. It's really weird, but I'm starting to get into that one too. So yes, that was my aimless aside for what I've been playing. Going back to the main thing, so a few weeks ago, my friends and we beat the first level of Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction, and so we've been playing the second one. And they added a thing recently where before it was sort of like a MOBA, so in the level up system. So basically, every time you start Extinction, all of your skills are at level 1, and then as you fight, you can level them up, and then you have better and better skills. But recently they added a thing where you are awarded like a currency every time you accomplish certain stuff, like kill however many hundred of aliens, or destroy the barrier hives and things like that. And you can use that currency to purchase skills that sort of they stay with you throughout every game that you play. So we've gotten a few of those, and then they must make a big difference, because it seems the game seems a lot easier now. In fact, my friends, they beat. It took us months and months to beat episode 1, or like the first one that came with Ghosts. But recently, they were playing by themselves or casually, and they beat it alone. So just like 2 players, they beat it as well. It's like, oh. And they're just like, yeah, it just didn't seem as hard anymore. So either we're getting better, or the skills are making a subtle but effective difference in our effectiveness, or big difference, subtle but big difference in our effectiveness. So yeah, the difference in the Extinction episode 1, or the first expansion pack, is that the barrier hives are big machine gun shooting alien thingies. And we were able to get through the first one, but the second one, well, now I'm not sure what they're doing. Like, it used to be for every alien that you killed, you got a certain amount of money, and different alien types gave you different amounts of money. But now it seems like as you progress further and further into the episode, the aliens give you less and less money. So you'd be fighting these really powerful aliens that used to give you lots of money, but they just don't give you a lot of money anymore. And so you're fighting a lot of enemies, and you just don't have the resources.
Maybe the game is just assuming that you had already stocked up or something by then.
Well, I'm not sure. I think what they're trying to do is up the difficulty by throwing lots and lots of enemies at you.
Oh.
But doing that, like, at some point the enemies just sort of become ineffective if you have lots of money, because the way we were doing it is we would all 3 upgrade a sentry gun skill.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you could deploy sentry guns that have armor piercing rounds, and at the highest level you can get 2 sentry guns with armor piercing rounds. So at the end of the first episode, we had 6 of these sentry guns just sitting around, and then the 3 of us awesome guns upgraded, and we just, we could pretty much destroy everything. So I think the thinking is like they want to up the difficulty by adding more enemies, but they can't give you more money. Otherwise, it just sort of it defeats. Like,
Yeah, because you'd pretty much just be giving you more firepower.
it doesn't balance out basically. So you get a lot less money in the last section, and so we don't have as many sentry guns, and so we've just been trying out different ways to get through it. But it's like, it's devastating to lose because every game now takes at least an hour, and when you die at the end of that hour without winning, it's like devastation. It was like that with zombies before in Black Ops 2. we found this way to make sure we were prepared for every round. Basically, we would leave one zombie alive, and then one person would sort of kite it around as everyone else went around and bought all their upgrades and stuff. And I was like, okay, done kiting, and like kill it, and then we run up to this one spot and then mow all the zombies down and then do it again if we need more bullets or whatever. And those games would last hours. So yeah, before it was one night we could play lots and lots of rounds. Now we can play maybe two games, and then it's like, well, whew, tired. We've been doing this a long time. So yeah, that's still continuing to be fun. We need a fourth person, I think is our consensus. Is like, I think if we had a fourth person, we would have a lot more perks, a lot more money, or not necessarily more money, but I think there would be even more aliens, and then just extra guns, extra sentry guns. It would be easier. But yeah, as Tekken has shown, it's hard to find a fourth. We had a fourth when we played zombies back in the day, and then it became a trio, and now it's just been the trio.
Especially with Stranger Danger, it's like you can't trust anyone.
Stranger Danger.
Yeah, when I'm playing with randoms, like randoms don't care what's going on, or many of them don't care what's going on, because every round there's a challenge that you do, or the game gives you a challenge, and if you achieve that challenge, you get more skill points for that round. And there'll be things like, oh, keep your bullet accuracy above 50%. And it's like, well, that's easy. We just knife an alien, it gets stunned, and then we shoot it. And it's like 100%. And then we just go around and don't shoot anymore. We just knife. But yeah, with randoms, sometimes they're just like, I don't care, and they just start shooting. It's like 30%, 20%. And you lose out on a lot of skill points, which are useful.
Are they useful?
Yes. Oh. Yes, they are. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing this week. Oh, actually, I want to leave with something I've not been playing, which is why I didn't mention it.
Oh.
Sports Friends. Sports Friends was finally released. However, and I'm not that sad, but Sports Friends not included. None of the games are playable by a single person. You have to have at least one other person to play the games. And one of the games actually requires 4 players. And none of the games are online. So I got the game on yesterday, and I have yet to play it at all. I've sat in the menus, I've looked through all the menus, I've looked through all the in-game manuals and all that. I've watched the credits. I have my game credits, so that's really cool. But same boat as 4,000 other people who backed it on Kickstarter. Oh yeah, you'll get to see that at some point, Tekken, when that game comes out.
Just make a bunch of friends before then.
But yeah, it's like, it's very sad. I can't play this game that I think would be awesome. I tried looking for it on live on PlayStation, and no one was streaming it. It's just like, I can't even watch other people play it because no one's playing.
Because they probably couldn't find extra people on the short notice. It's like, my friend can't come here right now. That's why the internet exists, Tropical.
And I feel like
Because we
No,
can't
there-
always be together at every single moment.
there's been this big push recently to make more couch co-op games like Towerfall.
I think that is that is people
That
trying
is
to
not-
push an agenda. I don't think there's been this big push.
Push an agenda.
I
Okay.
keep
Oh, your
hearing
couch
that, people
co-op propaganda going on."
There's a resurgence of couch co-op games, and people want to sit together and play the game. It's like, no, you may be a fan of that, but I'm not. So do not push your little agenda that you have here to get more people in the room playing together on me, because I don't have any friends, and we play online. So go have yourself, and you're sitting in the same room playing with other people, because it ain't happening. Not, at least not with me. So yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's this push, it seems, for people to make couch co-op games, and they say, "It's like, oh, why isn't there online?" It's like, oh, because couch co-op is awesome, and there aren't many games like that, so we're making couch co-op games. And it's
You know
like,
what else is awesome? Having online in addition to that.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
what
feel
the
like-
hell?
I feel like the solution is Sony, because making online games is really different than making couch co-op. Couch co-op is relatively simple. You just read more inputs from a controller, whereas network games you have to know how to do that and maybe have servers and just all these things. And so I think that's why Towerfall, for example, doesn't have multiplayer online. Because I mean, think about it. It's like, well, so you're just gonna write off all the people who don't have friends nearby? Like, that doesn't make sense. But in terms of the cost to make network plays, like, okay, that makes sense then. So I think, yeah, the solution should be Sony should figure out some way to somehow, like Ad Hoc Party, make something like that for PS3.
Don't they
So-
already have ad hoc party for the PS3? Is that not a thing?
Well, not for like PSP.
Oh, you mean like for PS3s
Yeah.
and stuff? Oh, I'm like, it's like, isn't that what?
So make it, trick the system into thinking that everyone is local when they're actually not.
That seems.
And, like, if they had something like that, then my gosh, like these games would
How-
be amazing.
How would that work? Is my question.
I don't know how they would do it. I don't know if that's actually a magic switch that they could push, but it would be great.
It's
That is-
2014 RPG. Someone should know.
Well,
This
clearly they
is
don't
fine.
because it doesn't exist. So, I mean,
This is
it's
a pressing
obviously-
issue, and I'm pretty sure with our modern technology, we can solve this.
Is it a pressing issue, Tekken? Because I mean,
Yes.
you have
I have no
like
friends.
online multiplayer, so it's
And I
not
need to
really
play
that
this
pressing of
game,
an issue.
All my friends are not physically available.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Games have online multiplayer, so it's not
But not-
that pressing.
not- Tropical just discussed RPG. Ah! I am trying to make a point, and you're breaking me out of my voice I was just in. Ugh.
Because I'm right? Like, what the hell? I mean, it just seems. I don't know. I feel like having online multiplayer kind of takes care of the issue with you worried about cost and stuff. Because if
When
more
you're-
people
when you're
buy the
small
game
indie
because they're like,
developer,
well, not.
RPG, you don't have the resources to be like, let's.
Isn't that the whole point of a publisher, though? Like a rich one?
Well, I think some of that is just annoying. Well, the thing is, like, they like self-publishing now.
Well, they should get out of that because
Towerfall is self-published, pretty sure, and it would just be really annoying, I think, to make it like have to devote time. I think it's only one or a few guys who made that game. And Sports Friends is definitely, it was just a few guys who made the game, and so maybe they just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I wish someone would do it for me.
Gamer said something about
So,
Pole
Tony,
Riders
get on
looks
that.
fun as hell in the chat.
Yeah,
What is
Pole
this?
Super Pole
Riders?
Riders is one of the
some strip club game? Is that what's happening right now?
No, it's like what's that game? Pole vaulting.
Ah,
That's Olympic thing.
that is not the same thing at
But
all.
yeah, the way that it works is it's 2 players. So, or I think there's a 4-player version too. But it's like 1-on-1, and then there's a ball tied to a string, sort of suspended above you. So there's like a rope that goes from one end of the arena to the other, and then there's a ball on it, and you're supposed to try to get the ball into or you're supposed to push the ball all the way to the other side, like to your opponent's side, and that's how you score points. And the way it works is you have this pole, and you can do like pole vaulting type things, and like, you know, vault up and kick the ball, but you can also vault up and kick your opponent. And, or you can just use the pole itself and like push the ball. But that's a lot. I don't know. I actually haven't played it, so I haven't seen how it can turn out. But the potential was there, and I just I really want to play it, so I can, like, I need someone to play it with so I can stream it, because the games that are included with Sports Friends, they sound really awesome and just sort of crazy, and it's like I can't play any of these.
Why don't you just have your wife play with you or something?
Okay, I just came to a consensus in my mind. Okay, I changed what I said about couch co-op. Okay, because I remember a couple of, okay, not a couple episodes ago, but during the time of this podcast, sometime I know I have said, what happened to the time when you could just sit down and play something with someone? So it's like, you know,
You did say that, actually.
I want to have my
I
cake and eat
remember.
it too. So, you know, yeah, they need to have that.
I wish they had both.
Because I was
Like,
always, I know I remember mentioning something about, like, nowadays you have to be all lugging your console around so you can play System Link, because there's no split screen multiplayer. So it's like, yeah, what the F, man. But then they got split screen, but there's no online. So it's like, what the F, man. I want my
no
cake and
pleasing
eat
you,
it.
is there? There's just no pleasing you.
Both of them. Yeah, the games in Sports Friends are all competitive, and except for Johann Sebastian's Joust, all of them I think could work online. Like Pole Riders, that would work fully.
This game just sounds so inappropriate, though.
Bari Bari Ball is
And why Johann Sebastian?
they're all, man, I don't know what they're like. Like Pole Riders is the only one I've seen. The other one, Johann Sebastian Joust, is it's a game that uses move controllers. So basically, your move controller, you're just supposed to hold it as still as you can, and if you move it too quickly, then it rumbles and the light goes out and you lose. So basically, everyone's supposed to stand in a circle and try.
I'm sorry. This sounds ridiculous.
It really does. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but
distinguish other people's move controllers,
can you
and like there's
kick 'em?
music, so the music playing sort of dictates the tempo of the game. So if the music is more loud or intense or whatever,
How's
you
there a
can
tempo if no
slightly
one's moving?
faster.
How's that work?
Well, if no one's moving, then no one, like, it'll just be a stalemate. So you have to, there's sort of forced participation, I guess. Everyone can stand there still as a monk, yeah, and then it just becomes a game of
You just
patience
stand
or
still?
endurance, I suppose.
Is that a-
Like, whoever gets tired loses.
Whoever gets kicked in the face first, it's like
Yeah, you're supposed to like try to get other people to move their move controllers quickly, while at the same time moving yours slowly.
Yeah, that does not sound like a game I want
This
to play.
sounds painful. Is what this sounds like.
That sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
Basically,
Or a
Apparently
Wii accident.
Apparently, it's really fun, and it's a game that doesn't even require a TV. Like the original versions, were on Mac, and it was just a bunch of move controllers, Bluetooth connected to a Mac, and yeah, it just people play it outdoors and they're on fields and they're just like, yeah, trying to extinguish each other's move controllers.
I feel
And I
like
think at some point Sony decided, it's using our hardware anyway. Let's see if we can get it on our system. And now it's on PS3 and PS4.
I'm a little curious as to why people have their move controls out in the middle of fields as opposed to, just doing stuff out in the fields without control.
Well, I think that the point of the game was to be, I think it was like something like electronic games that don't require a screen.
Huh.
Pass.
And yeah, apparently it's been really popular at like different festivals and stuff.
People are weird.
You should look it up. Johann Sebastian Joust.
There's a video of
Play it.
Rev 3 Games playing it, but I didn't watch it, so they streamed it or something.
Yeah, the PS3 and PS4 versions. So the PS3 version, I think, is actually the better version because it supports 7 players, and it supports DualShock 3s. So you can also use just regular controllers, and instead of extinguishing them when you're out, it'll rumble, and that tells you that you're out. But you can't. I guess like the light tells you how quickly you can move or something like that. On the PS4, it only supports 4 players, but it also supports DualShock 4s, which have lights. So trade-off. They do recommend just Move controllers, though. It was designed for Move.
Because everybody has those.
Apparently not, because they added all the other controller support. Yeah, I was actually thinking about picking up some more of them because they're really cheap now, and stores have sort of decided, yeah, these have been abandoned. And I'm like, okay, that works in my favor because I like them.
I could just see Charles go like stockpiling Move controllers. It's like, why do you have all of these?
I have 20 of them. They were $2 each.
It's like,
And now Project Morpheus is out. Oh, what? You Move controllers now?
Sheesh. I should probably pick up one of those while they're cheap, just for the fun of it.
See, I would stream that too. I don't know how the streaming would work with that one. It would just be like that little camera, the one that's supposed to be for the portrait, and it just a really small view of the actual game happening in the top right corner, and then the actual stream's gameplay is not the game at all.
Basically. That's weird.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Okay, well, before whoever goes next, just say hello, gamer, in the chat, and J-Bond was here earlier, so hello, J-Bond, as well. So, do you want to go next RPG, or me?
You guys suck.
Oh, now we have no viewers.
I know, right? It's like I was like, JK. But yeah, I'll go ahead and go. It's fine. So I picked up Kirby Triple Deluxe this week, or was it last week? I don't know. It came out like on some random day because Nintendo.
Probably
So
Sunday or Saturday.
Sunday
'cause
or
that's-
Friday.
I think it's a Sunday that they do the weird things. It's like, why is it on Sunday? Oh, I don't know.
Actually, I think it was on Friday. I don't know.
Oh, well.
Either way, it wasn't Tuesday. I know that much. So yeah, that was a thing. So anywho, I think this game also has an excuse plot because there's stuff going on at the beginning, and I was like, are we supposed to care? I kind of just want to play Kirby.
Are we supposed to care?
It's like, because I mean, DDD gets kidnapped for whatever reason. I'm like, he's usually evil anyway, right? So why do I care that he got kidnapped? Should I be concerned? Okay. I mean, I guess I could pretend to be concerned. So we're like, okay, well, we'll pretend.
Kirby just wants to go around and eat stuff.
Basically, it's like I just want to eat things, get new powers. Not really concerned about him. So, anywho, started that whole saving the king, even though he's a jerk face, and been doing that. They added like a bunch of new powers in addition to some of the mainstays, but they also added like I guess because Kirby Fighters is a thing on there, is that each of the powers now has like this list of things they can do, so you have like combos and all this stuff that you can do within the main game with the powers. So some of them have like dash attacks and or like aerial attacks and like charge attacks and different things that if they're like near enemy, it does certain things and grabs and all these different things. So it's like this whole host of abilities now, instead of just like the simple pressing B and it does just like a basic ability attack kind of thing. So it gives you like a lot of options and stuff to work with the powers now. So I guess, like I said, it's probably because of the whole Kirby Fighters thing that's included in the game itself. So that could be why. But yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what else there's to say. I mean, the game itself is your typical Kirby platforming stuff, but they use like the foreground and the background as part of the gameplay style now. So you'll be switching in between, going back and forth between the back and the foreground. And there are also some items that you could pick up in some of the levels that interact with both. Like there's this one like laser stick thing that extends to both sides, or this cannonball hat that you use to shoot between either the foreground or background, depending on where you are, and it's used to like solve puzzles and all this other stuff and all that jazz. And then there's also that new hypernova ability, which I think they've been advertising for the game actually, which is not like a super mode per se. It seems like it acts as like similar to the regular abilities, except you'll have to go through stretches of the level with it and use it to like, I guess, manipulate items and stuff to solve puzzles to get through the levels. So it kind of takes his vacuum ability to the logical conclusion of him being able to like eat trains and stuff now, because why not? So it's all that kind of stuff going on. And also included in that is the Kirby Fighters and that DDD Beat game thingy, which is like some rhythm jump game thing. I only played it briefly though, because I don't really like rhythm games all that much, so I didn't bother. I did play Kirby Fighters though, which is kind of like Smash Brothers, except everyone's all Kirby. So, I mean, but you kind of get to choose an ability, or choose an ability at the beginning of the match thingy where you're all choosing your character and whatnot. And there is online play for this one as well. So, but you don't have to play online. You can play single player as well if you want. But do whatever you want. But you could choose one of the abilities at the beginning of the match, and you'll be using that ability in the fights. They don't seem to. I mean, for obvious reasons, they don't include like the more powerful abilities, because that would kind of make the game really unbalanced if people were choosing like the souped up powers as opposed to like ninja or something. So yeah, that's the thing too. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing and whatnot.
All righty. So
Kirby.
He's the bestest.
So back in the day when we used to talk about the PSV, or the Vita. I'm sorry, we don't.
Yeah,
like,
I told you that sounds like a disease.
but
Can't say it that way.
my PSV has been
'Cause it burns
burning
so good.
Yes. So yeah, I've just been playing it, and yeah, still enjoying it. So, Urban Trial Freestyle finished it. I was able to get through it with the challenges were there, but I conquered and climbed the mountain and whatnot, what have you. And then I moved on
Why the mountain?
because RPG, that's like a challenge in real life, is climbing a mountain.